Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Housing. Yesterday, the Minister for Housing revealed Labor's budget of broken promises and higher taxes will see the value of an Australian home collapse by up to 20%. This could see negative equity loans rise to roughly 1 in 20 and leave homeowners owning more than their home is worth, smashing their nest egg. How many Australians will become poorer because of Labor's deliberate correction in house prices?
Call to the Minister for Housing, the Minister for Homelessness and the Minister for Cities.
Thanks, Speaker. Let me first start by saying that is a characteristically dishonest representation of what I said in question time yesterday.
Order.
And, Speaker, I just point out to those opposite that if you
the
can't
member
win
for Gippsland will leave the chamber under 94A. This continual rudeness will not be tolerated in this House. This non-stop interjecting, sledging is not acceptable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.
And I'd say to those opposite, if you can't win a political debate without misrepresenting the position of the people that you're arguing with, then you don't have a very good argument. That's just a hot tip on how arguments work.
Order. The Leader of the Opposition. Order. Everyone's just not going to continue to behave like that. Please, assist the House, show some respect. I want the Minister to return to the question and want the House to hear her answer. Minister.
Speaker, I talked to the parliament yesterday about what has happened to our housing market in this country since John Howard and Peter Costello reshaped our market in favour of investors over first home buyers. So let me take the parliament through it again. What we saw was investors flooding into the market, purchasing at 80 to 90% existing Australian properties. And the consequences of that are not altogether surprising, Speaker. What they have seen is a 400% increase in house prices since the last 25 years. Now, Speaker, those opposite may think that a 400% increase in house prices is a sustainable and good thing for the country. But let me be clear with you. The result of that is that home ownership rates for the young people of this country are falling through the floor. Speaker, a low-income young couple in this country is half as likely to own their own home today than they were in the year that I was born. Now, I'm not surprised that those opposite don't want to see change in this system.
Will cease interjecting or be warned, and he won't be here for the remainder of the answer. No more interjections. Minister.
I'm not surprised, Speaker, that those opposite don't want to see change in this system, though I do want to point out some inconsistency. It sounds like the member for Goldstein is advocating for another 400% increase in house prices, perhaps another halving of home ownership rate for young people. I would point out to him that his colleague and friend, the shadow housing spokesperson Andrew Bragg, is made quite clear his views that he wants house prices right around the country to decline. Not surprising to see more chaos and more crazy over there as they try to sort out their position, Speaker. They may be still sorting out what they think about what should happen with housing in this country, Speaker. We've got a really clear view. We want a fair and equitable housing market in this country, and that means putting first home buyers on an even keel with investors. If those opposite have a different view, they'll have the chance to state that again when they vote on this legislation this afternoon.
Tim Wilson goes straight for the jugular, asking how many Aussies are going to wake up poorer because Labor's tax grab is deliberately hammering house prices. Clare O'Neil doesn't answer the question. Instead, she lectures the House about the Howard Costello era and how investors supposedly ruined everything for young buyers. Classic deflection. House prices have skyrocketed over 25 years, sure. But now, under Labor, we're seeing a correction with auction clearance rates tanking and warnings of up to 20% drops. Families who've worked hard, saved and bought their home are watching their biggest asset get whacked. Negative equity isn't some abstract economic term. It's mums and dads owing more than their house is worth. O'Neil talks a big game about fairness for first home buyers. Fair enough, young people are struggling, but changing the rules mid-game with negative gearing tweaks and capital gains hits risks punishing everyone already in the market. The 5% deposit scheme was meant to help new buyers get in. Now some of them could be underwater if prices keep sliding. This isn't fixing supply, it's playing politics with people's biggest investment. Wilson nailed the core issue. Labour's budget of higher taxes and broken promises is making everyday Australians poorer while they spin it as some noble correction. Home ownership shouldn't be a political football. Aussies want more homes built, not wealth destroyed through dodgy tax changes.